A local woman is facing stunt driving charges for allegedly driving well over twice the speed limit along the Onion Lake Road. Thunder Bay police say at around 8:30 last Monday night, the driver was clocked going 121 kilometers per hour in a 50K zone. The traffic unit posted a video on Facebook detailing the incident. The 39-year-old female driver was pulled over and charged with stunt driving for going 71 kilometers over the posted limit. The charge comes with an automatic 30-day roadside license suspension, a 14-day impoundment of the vehicle, and a potential fine of up to $10,000. The newly refreshed federal prosperity and growth strategy targeting Northern Ontario is being welcomed by municipal leaders throughout the region. The minister responsible for FedNor, Patty Hadu, promoted the strategy during a funding announcement in Thunder Bay.
This is really to help support that kind of diversification. Obviously, we have a huge opportunity in minerals, in lithium processing and extraction, and that will always be a foundation for Northern Ontario. But I think the resiliency comes from making sure that we keep our eyes on other opportunities that help attract, for example, the research and innovation that we see that's being driven through having things like a medical school, things like a law school, things like a university and a thriving college.
This strategy focuses on helping communities deal with economic changes, supporting local businesses, and growing the region's innovation and productivity. Northern Ontario Municipal Association President Rick Dumas put out a release saying this announcement signals a positive step forward in recognizing the distinct needs and potential of our region. Hadu says this newly revised strategy keeps the vision of the one already in place, but was built with the input from the region.
This is a refresh of a strategy that was put into place in about 2017. We want to make sure that as the situation evolves and as the economy evolves, as we see new challenges and new opportunities, that the strategy remains fresh. And we do that with partners in consultation with community.
A suspect involved in a police standoff earlier this month is now facing an additional charge. Thunder Bay Police Service officers were dispatched to the 100 block of Cumberland Street North at 8:30 a.m. on Friday, July 4th, after receiving a 911 call reporting a weapons incident. The suspect, 63-year-old Morris Hogan, had entered the location and brandished an apparent firearm towards three people who were present, demanding that two of the individuals leave while a third remain inside the premises. Police arrived and contained the scene as a standoff ensued. Thunder Bay Police Service crisis negotiators established communication with the suspect and arranged for the safe release of the hostage, which occurred later that morning. The individual did not sustain any physical injuries. The standoff continued into the evening. The suspect then surrendered to the Ontario Provincial Police's Tactics and Rescue Unit and was taken into Thunder Bay Police Service custody nearly 14 hours after the incident began. On top of facing robbery and weapons charges, Hogan is now also being charged with hostage taking. The accused appeared in court on Friday to answer to the new charge and has been remanded into custody with a future appearance date. Gakino Magay Teach for Canada returns to Lakehead University for its 10th annual Summer Enrichment Program, a milestone that marks a decade of deepening partnerships with 32 First Nations across 4 provinces preparing and supporting educators to live and teach in First Nations communities. Emmett Chilton reports.
36 teachers gathered for the summer enrichment program that will educate them about the different cultures for the First Nation communities they will be teaching in. President of Ganakamage, Teach for Canada, Deanna Matthews, highlights the importance of teaching educators the culture that will prepare them with language and traditions.
In a way, for us to find the right teachers and prepare the right teachers for the North, what that looks like is they go to the school in September, they're meeting their students, and they already kind of have a sense of the history of the community, the language of the community. Today we did some Oji Cree, we did some Anishinaabemoan, did some Dene, as well as some Cree. And even just a couple words in their language will kind of support students in feeling comfortable with their teachers, with the school at the start of the school year.
To mark the 10th anniversary this year, they integrated 3 land-based programs, a language program that is based around land education, a curriculum program that educates teachers how to integrate land-based learning, and a hide tanning program that teaches them how to tan hide and the language that pertains to that skill. Hyde Camp elder Charlotte Martin teaches the hide tanning program and the Ojibwe language. Martin says the revitalized craft is about respect for the animal and the traditional teachings behind it.
We talk about respect for the moose, that moose is a medicinal gift to all of us. And so we never waste any part of the moose. It was in a dormant state for a long time. And with Truth and Reconciliation, it has been revitalized. And you see that in the work that we do, either through the hands-on stuff, like what those people are doing, the hands-on, and also through the language.
Educators and members of the program, Rachel Iseroff, will be teaching in Admitong First Nation, also known as Fort Hope in Northern Ontario. And Jake Robinson will be teaching in Woodland Cree First Nation in Northern Alberta. Iseroff and Robinson tell us what they've learned during hide tanning.
I've been helping to keep the hide, to scrape the hide and keep it soft and help it dry so that we'll be able to use it.
Putting together something called brain water to help condition another hide and really just walk through all the steps, but also getting some of the cultural context about why it's so important to some people.
Emma Chilton, TBT News.
Students from Lakehead Public Schools Summer Learning Program enjoyed a fun and educational field trip to Fort William Historical Park this week. They had the opportunity to take in-park activities while learning about the fur trade. The school's board-free summer program runs from Monday to Friday for 3 weeks and lets kids participate in numerous educational activities and events. This field trip saw around 120 students from different schools who were all eager to learn about the area's history. The first activity was a scavenger hunt that took the students all around the fort property. We asked the students what their favorite part was.
I just want to see the blacksmith, but the coolest thing we've seen so far, I'm thinking maybe the farm. I love the chickens. The chickens were pretty cool.
The best thing I've seen is definitely the chickens.
The chickens.
The pigs.
My favorite part is
the
like
farm.
the animals.
The farm.
Yeah, the farm.
And all the animals so cute. I like everything on this farm or anything. It looks good and it's fun.
It's a good learning experience just for all, even just being in nature, being outside, even though it's not the nicest, just exploring the Fort William and being here all together.
There is growing frustration among a number of Canadians tonight over serious delays and issues contacting the Canada Revenue Agency, resulting in refunds being held up and impacting access to benefits. CTV's Jeremy Charon has been tracking the pushback and has more on this tonight.
Locked out of accounts, struggling to get a hold of someone who can help, countless Canadians are growing increasingly frustrated over unresolved issues with the Canada Revenue Agency.
This year it's terrible.
Montrealer Dimitri Youtsis says he filed his taxes in February and receives his return quarterly, but never got an expected payment on the 5th of July. Now he can't access his account or reach an agent on the phone to help him, repeatedly stuck in a loop on the CRA's automated messaging system.
This year, just no service. I can say it 1 star, 2 star, just 0 star because no services.
It was incredibly frustrating and unnecessary.
Chris Ellis from west of Ottawa says he was locked out of his account after changing his direct deposit information with the CRA triggered a security alert. He had the same issue trying to contact someone.
I just kept calling and I reached out to my accountant. I said, I can't get through. I'm freaking out here. My account's locked out. I can't get a hold of anybody. About a month later, I finally got a message that said, you're in the queue for an agent. I thought, wow. So that was just so painful just to wait a month.
But Ellis still hasn't received his return nearly 4 months after he says he filed his taxes. And his story is far from unique. CTV News asked Canadians to reach out about their experiences with the CRA and received hundreds of responses, many sharing similar stories. I have been unable to reach a human at the CRA for weeks. This failure of CRA is causing me extreme stress, worry, and I'm losing a lot of sleep. In a statement to CTV News, a spokesperson for the CRA said the agency encourages people to use online self-service tools, adding we regret the inconvenience this situation may cause and are actively working to continuously improve both our phone and digital services.
The delays in communication complaints come as Prime Minister Mark Carney has asked government departments to find their own internal savings by August ahead of a planned fall budget. Jeremy Sherrill, CTV News, Ottawa.
Residents flocked to Marina Park for the 16th annual Festival of India and celebrated Indian culture with a parade, music, food, and live performances. The festival started with a chariot parade which made its way around the park with music and dancing surrounding the chariot. The celebration continued on the festival grounds with live performances, 15 food vendors, and a free traditional dinner. Organizer of the Festival of India, Prashant Jani, tells us more about a traditional dance from India.
We have just currently going on is Odissi dance from eastern part of India, and it's a very traditional dance where they offer the dance and music in devotion to Lord Jagannath. After that, we have a spectacular drama called The Age of Kali. There are 15 artists who have traveled all the way from Toronto to Thunder Bay to perform this drama. It's going to be a spectacular drama. After that, we have folk dances, live interactive music, so lots of entertainment.
We came down for the walk because it's a beautiful day and we were wanting to catch the parade, which we did. That was great. And everything's good. We had some food and from the masala grill and it was good.
It's a great day, good atmosphere, very attractive people, and we're having a great time.
Today's event will continue until 8 p.m.